Okay, hi everybody to Building Site episode 23. Today I'm with Johanna Antonelli. Hello Johanna.
Hello.
We're going to do a bit of coding in ClojureScript and going to convert or show how we're going to use JSX and ClojureScript together. Now JSX is a JavaScript templating language from Facebook, part of React, and we quite like it because we want to copy and paste some components over. And in particular, Johanna, you've been looking at creating a list of people for our kind of HR human resources application that will run internally on Crux in Juxt.
Yep. I've created a contacts and a directory and a place where you can add holidays, timekeeping, that sort of thing. And yeah, we'd like to migrate it over.
Okay, so we'll
some of this.
Have a look at that Tailwind. I think you sent me a link, so I'm just going to open that in a browser. So the aim of this episode is to try and get this screen copied over to our card system, and eventually I'm thinking that, well, we think that these will be individual cards that will just be cards with a bit of schema, but they'll behave and look like cards, and we'll be able to edit the text. So that's the aim. Now we've made a few changes to the build system lately, so I have to go into my card application and just run npm install, just make sure it's okay. And we also have a new way of running the builds, which is npm run, I think it's watch, is it?
Run dev.
Run dev. That's it. Okay. And what run dev will do is build a local version of Tailwind CSS so that we don't have to get it from site. That's kind of better to help us to work offline. And it will also start Shadow and compile the ClojureScript to JavaScript and watch for those changes. So everything's all kind of packaged together. We do have a REPL, so we'll just run Emacs now, and that should be working there. Oh, hang on. Okay, and I'll move Emacs over here, and I'll just make this quite small so that we can see what's going on, if there are any errors. Okay, so I think the first thing to do is to make sure that we're running on localhost 8000. We're still compiling. Oh, the build. We've got a little build failure there. So I'm just going to take that people out. It compiles.
And you can connect your Emacs up to the REPL as well?
Right, yeah. So that's done with, Cider Connect CLJS this time, the host, localhost, and the port number is just hidden there. It's this one here. So I'll copy that. The ClojureScript REPL type is shadow, and again it's :app is the build. That seems to have worked. So if it has worked, I should be able to go into one of my symbols here, and no, it hasn't. Oh, I might have to reconnect. I have to reconnect. Okay, so the REPL is working, and I should then get. Well, that's not working, but anyway. So if we go to cards now, Yeah, we have this this menu bar, and we want to add a people link. So if you in one of the previous episodes we had a nav bar. So the nav bar is this menu here, and then we have these menu items. So what we want is to create one that will now go to called people, and we'll give it an ID of people, and we'll see what happens. There we are.
There.
There it is. Now, in order to make it go to somewhere, we have a navigation. These are all reframe standards, aren't they, Johanna? They're pretty common in the reframe
Yep.
world.
I mean, I wouldn't speak for the whole of the reframe community, but yeah, there.
It's what all the reframe projects.
Or maybe I
adjust, at
should
least.
confidently. Yep, they are.
So we would say, we go to people here.
Yeah.
So this is a closure reframe namespace, and we'll say that if they click on people, well, we don't need that. We'll say go to people. That should be enough, I think.
So we've got nothing to dispatch at the minute. But
Nothing to dispatch, so we might be getting an error there when we do click on that. Let's go back there, click on people.
I think it'd be fine. It just means we've got no data to load yet.
Yeah, so
But yeah, when we need to bring our people in, that's where we'd dispatch our get users
right, okay.
event.
Yeah, but we're going to hard code the users for now, so
Yeah.
we don't. But we do have a missing route, and that's telling us that if we go, we need to add. Yeah, that means that in our views down here, I think that's right. No, that came from before, but we're getting page not ready because that's the last case of our UI case statement. So we need to put in the case that it's people now, and we can say something like an H1 people, and that's made that little change up there. Whoops. So the aim is to create a little React component that will bring in our JSX. So first of all, we need to copy our JSX over. We need to create a little people namespace that we're going to. There we are. And here I'm going to create a React component. Which will so if we bring that namespace in, this is just a way of separating concerns. People. We don't need the. We do want the menu. No, we get the menu anyway. So, okay. And this people is going to be a bit like the nav bar. So we're going to bring in a component called people this time, which we'll pretend is called people, and then we'll be able to use an adapter, which I think it's not sure. I think it's that. I have a look at the nav bar. Yeah, it's that little keyword that is a bit of syntactic sugar that tells reagent that we're going to be referring to a real React class here. So and what it will do is it will treat that as a React component, which we need to bring in from our class path, and it will put in some properties there. So let's put that and see what happens. Okay, there is probably there's no people component. So now's the time that we can bring in the tailwind. Okay, so let's Alright, there's quite a lot of coding to do there, but it's all the same on each React component. Now here is where we just want to steal this whole thing. So we can go to this code and we want to copy the React version. We're going to bring it into our source code. We have a source code JSX area. We'll call that people. And now we just need to clean it up a little bit. Put some semicolon, sprinkle some of these in.
And you said you've got a special mode in your Emacs for this JSX file that gives you the linting.
Yes, there is this is the RJSX mode.
JSX.
But
cool.
there is something that I've discovered called prettier, and it makes it calls out to the npm prettier, which is what makes so if you can run it. Oh, well, that didn't work. But the idea is that it will if you put in rogue spaces, it will then. I haven't got it working, but the idea is
hypothetically it will
it would remove those and prettify.
Cool.
There is some sort of prettification npm that all the JavaScript programmers use, and that's integrated with Emacs. Might have to run prettier mode. Is that right? Prettier mode. Okay, that's enabled now. So that means,
there you go. And it's done a bunch of stuff.
It's done loads of things. Yeah. Probably.
And that runs. That's on a save hook, is it? So every time you save, it'll.
I think it works just by being in prettier mode. As a minor mode, it means that every time you save. I haven't added a save hook. But that's quite neat because it will put in the semicolon just on save there. The one thing that we have to do is rename this component to people rather than example. And the other thing that just to let you know, I've discovered that you have to export it like this rather than using export default up at the component level. Now I'm not sure why that is still. If anybody does know, please write in. But that should be enough to. Wow, that's worked. So we full screen that. No, it's not live. It doesn't work. It's all static data, but still, that's how we integrate a JSX component. So that was okay. Yeah.
So all we need to do is just, if we want to do any tweaking to it, we can tweak it and load in the data, but it's ready-made. Saves a lot of time.
We do have some user data, don't we? Do you have the query that get users query? Because I know if you go to site, there is a swagger built into site that allows us to get all of the users.
So I'm going to copy you in Slack what I have to, oh no, that didn't work. What I have to get my users. Whether it'll work from within card, I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
So this is the one that brings in the Slack details too, so we can get the images.
Oh, okay. Okay, so... And you put that into the card API?
No, it's not in the card API yet, so I guess to use it, you'd have to put it in there.
Okay.
But I guess for now, we can just use one that's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, a hard-coded user, you mean?
We could use one of these ones in
I'm going to see how quick it is to put into the card API, just as a sort of demo.
Okay.
There we are. So this is the card API. We need to go into our production mode because that tells my site. I mean, all that does, by the way, is just set this site base URI and makes the terminal red. But I quite like it because it's red and it reminds me I'm accessing.
Not colourblind.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then I need to get a token, so I can do that with that, which will get my password. Now I've got a token. I can go into card. We can change the card API. And we'll put your users in at the end, I guess. There we are. We'll then do site put API card -f open API, I think it's. Okay. And look at this. Did that work? I might have to. Did I put it in the wrong place? Possibly.
Might be caching the Swagger. You could clear cache.
Bump the version. Yeah, there's there we are. That. So
yeah.
That helps. I need to. Yes, you're right. I need to clear. It's funny. It's the way that it's sort of cached in the browser. So that's 103 still. That's 102. Now it's gone to 103. I wonder if this one. There we are. Brilliant.
There you go.
And you put it in you've tagged it as well. So it has that tag users, which means Swagger. So let's have a look to see whether it works. It might not because I'm not logged in. It is.
It is.
There we are.
Personal data on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
No, it's fine. There's nothing.
It's mostly people.
Everyone's salaries.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So what that is giving us is if we were to go and get, this is a JSON body of people that are in the system. So we want to pull those people into the app state and then show those people here on the left hand side. And then I need to, that's right. We want to change this list to the list of people from here. So the way that we can do that is when you navigate to people, we can cause a get people event to be dispatched in reframe. Is that right?
Yeah. How would that impact you if you just visited the URL directly? You wouldn't load those, would you?
That's
if triggering it, you have to.
I think this one would. this is the router, so it would still hit here and it would still dispatch to get people. If you were to,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I think that's covered, but we can test it.
Well, it works when you visit card, doesn't it?
Yeah,
When
it
you did that earlier.
It does. So let's go to, just check it's, we need to look at Swagger to find out. We're going to /users. So get users, a bit of copy and paste. Is it users / or just, yes it is, so it's a collection. Some magic. Oh no, I changed the wrong one. Users and received users, and so down here we've got a received actions, so we'll just copy and paste that. We'll update.
Do we want a new key, a new people key? What's this doc store?
Oh, I don't think that's anything. Actually, we probably don't want that. Yeah, we probably don't want that. That was just to sort of index it or something. That's probably fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the response body is not, because it's the result of a query, it's not going to be in a nice shape for us to use. So I don't know whether we want to change the data here.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah. Shall we have a look and see what it looks like? I wonder if we can use our.
You should be able to do it in the REPL. You should be able to def response and then load it, see if it works, and then you can play around with it.
Okay, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's saying get people, because it's not get people, it's get users. So let's change that to get people.
And then received, you need to change received users on success.
Oh yeah.
Line below your cursor. Yeah.
I'm still getting an HTTP failure. What's going on there? Oh, not found. So it looks like it's card users, isn't it? Because we have to go via the card API. Let's see if that worked. Yeah, maybe that worked. Here we are.
Looks good.
The network for that card users was, yeah, we're getting all our users, and it isn't in a really terrible state. We could certainly create an index where we can index by username, but still, we've probably got enough there to start putting a picture. Have you got pictures? You have.
Yeah, that's underneath Slack.
Okay.
So it's a map with 3 keys: username, user, and Slack. The user's the generic.
So
the user details, and then the Slack is the.
So if I click on that one, do we get Alex? Is that behind it? Yeah. Oh, there's Alex. Okay.
Hey, Alex.
Hello. So, okay, so we'll just try and get this A to Z with the people that we have in our database. So this one is populated with, if we have a look again at our people JSX, we'll see that yeah, these are the, oh, I see that, yeah, we definitely need some kind of subscription to see
We've got them alphabetically by last name here. But to start with, we can just get them in a list
Yeah.
and not worry about the grouping them.
Yeah. I see. I'm just trying to work out that these things down over here, this is the team, team members here, and this list. So yeah, if we just concentrate on getting the, now what is this list of people called? Directory. So we need to, here's the directory list. So instead of object keys map, oh I see, this would be props directory. So I'll put the letter, because they'll be mapped from letter to a list. Okay. Gosh. But I think there's a way of you can rather than having to edit props the JSX there, you can do a yeah, I'm going to look at what we did earlier. Yeah, there's a way of
And those would just be keys in your properties.
yeah, I believe so. And so now we have to, might be easier for us to change our profile first and pass our profile in. So where is profile? So rather than directory, we'll start with profile. I think directory is a little bit more challenging. So if we look for profile here, so this is the Ricardo. So we'll make Ricardo, we'll push Ricardo in to, so this is Ricardo. So we could perhaps take Alex, and this will be part of the app state. So should we just push Ricardo in just to baby steps?
Just as a hard-coded map, and we can change a few fields just to make sure we're...
Exactly, yeah. We're just sort of to closurify it here. So that will be def profile. Put that in as a string. It's a bit of a funny way of doing it, but anyway. And then some fields, what should be okay. So we should be able to change Ricardo's name there, and it changes.
There you go.
So yeah, we're data driven. So we've got to try and change. This would be good to have as a subscription. We can push this back down to being a subscription. So we could say let profile be RF subscribe, and we could perhaps give the person that we want to subscribe to.
Or the way I've modelled it before is just current user profile.
Okay.
And then the subscription doesn't need to also find out who's the current user.
Okay. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means
you'd need. Oh yeah, okay, because you're not namespacing them. Okay.
I've got to put a. Why doesn't?
And you'd need to deref the subscription at some point.
Oh right, okay. So I'd have to say profile like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it failing?
Because it doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. So this subscription, we have to create a new one. We want to call it, just to keep it, you said it was in a namespace, so current user profile, that's in the sub namespace. And we'll get it. So we need to bring in the sub namespace to here. Anything else? So we need to put this profile now.
Yeah, and you just need to give your current user profile subscription a namespace keyword to the subs as well.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, /subs, : /subs /
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, okay, that's good. So we can now change the subscription. We're getting a bit closer now, so we can change Ricardo back to Cooper, just to make sure the subscription's working. Yes, it is. So
Nice.
We're getting a bit closer now. So, in theory, we have, if we use, I was thinking that we could use, I can't remember what's in our app state at this point.
We could just try getting the first of the people. Did we put it under the people keyword?
I think we did. In our received people, we put it under.
You can. Are you using 10x?
I'm not.
You could just have a peek and see.
Yeah, I am.
There.
Yeah, so we're
And
using
you might
10x.
need to just do a refresh so that it.
Just gonna.
There you go.
Right.
Users we've got. We should maybe change that to people.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, let's do that now, just to be
consistent.
Yeah. Oops. So now, where do we find? We see the app.db here, and there we've got users. We have to refresh that. Okay. Well, we've got people and each entry. So let's take. Let's get Dan. So, or we could. You're saying we just get the first one?
Yeah, if we just get the first one, then we can start to bring the right shape and data in.
Yeah, that's right. So
you could just get it from your DB. You don't need to copy it in your subscription.
Oh. Okay.
You've got your DB there.
Oh yeah. First.
Yes. So you could also do def db db, and then you can play with it in your repo.
Oh, let's try that and def db db then. Okay.
And then save. It should load it in. And then get in DB people. In fact, not get in, just people.
Let's just see. Yes. So what are our keys? We have people. So get in.
Or just get people, because then it's a list after that. Or people 0 if we're being.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Do it this way. And then we can say count. We've got 31 people, so if we say the first user, and that is enough to do structure, I think, because we want to have.
We do want the image as well, though, which is under the Slack key.
Yeah, that's right. So let's get the Slack one as well. So these are the things that we have. Okay, so if we could merge those together. So that's the first thing that we could do. So we could let user be get in, or rather just do it this way, get the first user.
And then you could do people first merge. Would that work? Or apply merge?
Yeah, I would just wonder if we could, if we did user there, we could then use our name email. So it's quite, we're not doing any merging there. And from our Slack, we could say that was the juxt home keys is Slack ID. Oh no, Slack profile pic. Is there any more? We might want the link and those sort of.
That's all I got from Slack.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So that one now is name. The image URL is the
Slack profile pic.
Cover, we'll keep that, and we'll keep the about.
Yeah.
We'll just change the email there, and everything else is going to be. Oh, it didn't like the. It wants me to take out my workings. And the Slack profile pic. Why isn't it getting that?
You've not wrapped it in your let.
I've not wrapped it in my let.
Yeah, your let ends at the end of the let. So you need to slap in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Right, so now the big reveal.
You've got a curtain over it.
Hey!
Oh, there. Hey, Alex.
There he is.
Easy peasy.
Right, so that is how. So I guess the final challenge is to make this directory work. I think we might leave that to another time. I feel that we've covered a lot today, and that might be a good second part 2 for another time. Just because I've got a meeting to run to in about 15 minutes, and there's a good chance that we. I think it's a good time to commit.
Yeah, and push.
So let's commit our work. Okay, so add people cards to add people cards. That's really it.
Add people cards.
So card is now open source. It's in it's in GitHub/juxt/cards. So now we've finished the episode. I just check that we're back here. So yeah, I think that all works. Yeah. Any comments, Johanna?
No, except I'm excited to play around with it. I'm very new to this JSX and copying and pasting whole components in and just feeding it properties.
Yeah, I think that's the exciting part of just being able to copy and paste whole swathes of components and Tailwind, and there's a lot of stuff online, and it makes it very easy. I think the hard thing in front-end development is state management, where you're trying to figure out, actually getting the data from the database, which we did, and adding an API call. So that's a whole end-to-end integration, and the component, the visual components should be something that we can potentially delegate to a designer, or somebody who can build these Tailwind components for us. Because for me, at least, that's 90% of the work is coming up with the styling and
the hours I've spent just trying to work out why this div is not centered, even though I've put all of the things that I think should make it centered on it in the styling.
Yeah, and hopefully in another episode we'll play around with, I think it's story card or storyboard or story something.
Book?
Storybook, that's it.
I'm not sure though. Don't take my word for it.
That's so Storybook is something that David Nolan was talking about in a previous in a talk last week. There's a talk on YouTube by David Nolan. I can put the link in the show notes on YouTube and when we upload this video. But this might be something to test drive for another time. But it's exciting. I think there's going to be quite a lot of visual components. That we're going to have some timelines, some boxes that you can stretch, and some tick integration and all sorts of things that are going to come down the pipe. So it'd be exciting to give this a test drive and see if we can build component-driven UIs faster. Who knows? All right, I think that's it for this episode. Just thank you very much, Johanna, for all your help and for joining me. And we'll see you next time on the show. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining at home, and see you soon. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.